helps. We are still looking for a division sponsor, and that's something I'm working on. For
Yeah, you
late model
keep
drivers.
working on me on this too.
I'm not. I'm
So-
done with it. Last time I asked him, he threw a boomerang at me.
I could put a couple $100 in it. That's no big
Well,
deal.
and
the guys need it. To them, that's more parts. It's more tires.
It's every little
they need
dollar
every
helps.
little bit they can get.
Yep.
And the bigger you get the purse, the more people come out, the harder the guys drive.
Absolutely.
And I enjoy helping Moxie Media. It's a real treat to me just to go down to Medford and be a part of it. Really good people down there. Great track. I enjoy it immensely.
Absolutely. It's a great facility.
And we enjoy having Dave along with us.
Well, Dave is a character. So Dave's been in the trucking industry for a while and was a former prison guard. So you can imagine some of the jokes and the personality that comes out of him when we're on the road. It's a lot of fun. But so there's the crew. For all of our new listeners, that is the crew that we bring to the racetrack and that will be on the show this season. It's going to be an exciting season. We have got a great team. We've got people in place that hustle. And I sent you guys a message this week talking about how much I appreciate each one of you and what you guys do to make this whole thing come together for the drivers and the fans. And I meant that. You guys are awesome. We work hard.
And it's good to feel appreciated too.
Well, and that goes with
Always.
everybody here. Yeah.
Yes.
With everybody here, and the way we're treated at the track is awesome. Saturday night, we saw some fantastic racing. There were some challenges for the drivers, a couple obstacles to overcome. The track was hit with a major rainstorm 2 days or a day and a half before the show. Certainly didn't help track conditions, but all of that said, track conditions could have been a whole lot worse.
Yes.
We did see some exciting racing from every division. The dwarf cars things got real exciting. Ryan Smith, for those of us seen the show or seen the Facebook page, Ryan Smith took a wild ride in that dwarf car, wide open. I believe he was running second or third at the time. Into turn one, he caught a bump, and Nina was there with her lens and high speed and captured most of that. I was told it was 9 rolls. He went over 9 times. Okay. All of us as a crew talked about this on the way home. The fans in the stands completely astonished at what happened next. He pulled a Dale Earnhardt. Do you guys remember when Dale Earnhardt flipped at Talladega?
Yeah.
Remember he flipped at Talladega and he
Yep.
got out and walked around the car. The car's beat to heck. Parts are hanging off. He goes, "There's still air in the tires?" And there was. And he says, "See if that thing starts." They started up. He got back in the car and finished the race. Ryan Smith did the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the impressive part. Not only did he roll the car 9 times, all the tires had air. He was able to fire it up. He went to the back of the pack and drove to a 5th place finish against, a fast field.
Fast field.
Impressive.
Yes. Did you see the pictures of his car after the race? Did you see how the front end was set up, the camber and the caster and the toe end? It couldn't have been more wrong.
You could have been turning right.
It probably would have turned right better as for the way that front end was all set up. But Nina, let's talk about how you capture that because, right place, right time, and I don't know what kind of camera you use and how many frames a second that thing will shoot, but she got some phenomenal pictures of that incident.
Yeah, we was looking at him on the way home, and it was just astonishing.
It is the clarity and the detail and it's almost 3-dimensional. Like it's just fantastic. The
She's
camera.
a pro.
She is.
Well,
She's a pro.
Thankfully, he kept driving because when I took it from a photographer's standpoint, I'm like, I got every frame of that. And I got on the radio, I'm like, I got every single flip.
I heard you.
That was pure excitement. If he didn't turn out all right, I would have been not as excited.
Right.
as I
We
was,
wouldn't have
but I
released
was
those
like,
pictures.
Oh my goodness, guys.
Yeah.
And I was going, God, I missed that.
Yeah, I heard you.
And Dave was going, oh, God, I missed it too.
Well, we got the stills. We got,
Yeah,
the,
we got the
stills,
stills.
and they're not they're not anything that Nina should be ashamed of because man, those things are just.
Have you seen the memes that they've been putting?
Oh
out
yeah,
on that?
yeah.
several
Beautiful.
memes have been made about that.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
pretty great stuff.
It's all around the airways really good there. It's been flowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 103 cars in attendance.
Amazing.
Yep, good turnout.
103 cars, and I can't.
felt them all.
They had the
Yeah.
overflow parking open.
The overflow
And the
pit
over
area.
Yes.
Pit area too. Yeah.
Overflow guest and pit area parking was filled up.
Well, I was amazed, standing up on top of the tower, and I'm looking, you know, I mean, races are started. We're running heat races. And I turn around and look back,
Line.
and God, there's 20, 30 people waiting to get into the track.
Yeah, the line to get in, it took those grandstands were full. I mean, that's one thing that I really enjoyed about that crowd or that track is the crowds they get. They get some people in there. The pit area, I mean, is there's no room to move. They're so
No.
full and they overflow parking and
I'm going to bring the drone over there one night when I'm walking around.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the flyover, but that doesn't, you know, I'm not supposed to fly over people. And
You can
I
Did you
try
hear-
to,
did you hear what he
beside
said?
them.
Did you
yeah,
hear
I
what
can
he
fly
said?
beside him.
So no, here's how he gets around this, and this is legal. This is legal. So what Ed does is he's smarter. He's not supposed to fly over people. So what does Ed do? He flies the drone over the stairs, where there's nobody walking,
yeah.
and out onto the track. You see, we're still within our legal guidelines. We do it right, but the stuff he's catching on the drone.
It's turning out really well. I'm really happy with it.
So
I mean,
here's something I've been trying to get Ed to do, okay? I've been trying to get Ed to do, and I've told him a couple of times, hey, Ed, get out there and get that thing like 2 feet off the ground, right? And he doesn't like doing that. And
should I explain why?
well, you can. Saturday, I'm in there, and I don't ever see the drone, you guys. From where I'm at, I'm too busy watching the race and doing what I'm supposed to do, okay? There is that 1 second where my eyes catch something that I don't normally see, and there's that drone hovering about 2-3 feet off the ground, and cars are coming right at it, and I'm thinking, I can't wait to see that video. I got excited thinking about that. And
There's been some few frames that I've taken where I go back to look at it and I'm like, oh, what is that? Oh, there's the drone. Right in front
there's
of me.
Ed. There's Ed.
Well, I have to be really careful. You know, I think I explained it on our last show. Well, I'll cover it real quick. Where I take off is what the drone figures is 0 altitude.
Right.
Okay, we're
So on the top of the tower, it's
on top
reading
of the
that as
tower,
0 altitude.
0 altitude. Sandy, I got her because I wanted to know how high I was off the track. So I got Sandy to go down and stand in the flagman's position and wait till I got the drone down to her eye level. So I knew if I got to her eye level, I would be safe. I could probably drop another 3 feet, maybe 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
To be safe. And she got it down there, and I looked over on my display, and it showed minus 15 feet from
And
where
I
I
think
was
it
at.
was sitting at 15 feet,
Yeah, it was-
wasn't it? Or did I say 10?
You said 15.
Okay, so that's right. I said 15 feet, and his drone was telling him that it was minus 15 feet.
Yeah.
So
I was
then-
15 feet off the track, but it was showing minus 15.
Right, from
So
where you
I
took
could
off.
go, to land it on the front straightaway, I had to have to go to minus 30 feet. So it's confusing, and I really have to watch it up close because, you know, looking down, I don't get that good perspective of how high I am, and I sure don't want one of those cars to hit it. I'd cry.
Ouch.
Yeah.
We'd all cry.
Yeah. No,
I think
given
you'll
what that
cry.
thing costs, I know I would cry. It's a nice little ride. I mean, it is.
Kind of like brings back memories of Bakersfield, huh?
Oh gosh, I was scared. I was when the drone clipped the fence and went down on the track upside down.
They was
I don't
coming to
have a
the
radio.
start.
I try not to wear a radio with you guys or with the track. I'll hear the radio, but I don't wear one. We're getting ready to go green. Cars are at the apex of 3 and 4, getting ready to throw they're throwing the green flag. Ed comes across the radio to track officials and says, "Drone down, drone down." And they're like, "Yellow flag, yellow flag." We got everybody stopped. We got everybody slowed down. They didn't throw the green, and the guy that went out to pick it up, he about lost an arm. It tried to lift him off the ground when it was still running. So he picked it up and it yanked his arm up in the
I was
air.
trying to go back to that altitude.
Yeah.
But it was embarrassing for me. I was ready to play ostrich and stick my hand in the head in the sand or something because, boy, that was embarrassing for me. But
It's all
anyway.
good. It's all
You know,
good.
it's part of the risk, though, too. You got to think about, what you are doing out there and what you're trying to capture.
You got that right.
It's just like the racers out there on the track. They're taking risks every day when they're out there
How
on
much
the track.
money are in those cars? I don't care if it's a mini stock or a super late model or a sprint car. All those cars are expensive. That's the game we play.
You
It's
got to
expensive.
think. You got to think and plan ahead of what you're doing. And you can't get excited. You can get excited, but you can't get to the point to where you do something stupid.
Right.
And I've been known to do that every once in a while.
Well, I think we all have.
That's why I stand on the tires.
Those Uke tires don't go too far.
Well, there was a couple times, Nina, she had some cars coming right at her.
Yeah, they was chasing you.
They were agile.
Remember when I told you over the radio?
Yeah, stay behind the tires. Just a little bit.
Yeah, you've got to be safe. I want to talk about the racing. We talked about the dwarf cars, and we don't normally, in the past, haven't seen dwarf cars on a regular basis. We've seen them pretty regular this year.
Yes.
Okay. Totally impressed with the Southern Oregon Dwarf Car Association and the show those guys put on. The racing, there is not, there was, I got the car count around here. Let me look. A lot of dwarf cars, and there wasn't one, I mean this, there wasn't one that was slow. Those guys were all, I mean, you look at the lap times, they were all so close to each other. It was crazy. I'm going to get you the car counts that we had.
Those
I got this
screaming
broke
little
down.
banshees, man. I swear.
Oh, my gosh. So let me go over here to get this, because we had a lot of cars, and I want to make sure I get the counts right. Right here. Okay, so 33 IMCA Northern Sport mods, 18 modifieds, 17 pro stocks, 21 dwarf cars, and 14 late models. That's a good car count. And I want to go through the classes together. I want to start with the dwarfs, because that particular race, the heat races were awesome, but the feature, these guys get out there in the feature, and they're 4 wide. They're into the corner wide open, and there is no mercy with. And these guys, you got to remember, they're an association, so they all know each other. They're all, I'd say, pretty tight with each other. I haven't seen anything bad between any drivers yet, but there is no mercy with these guys on the track. I mean, for having open wheels, they don't give up an inch. And typically you would see racing create something like what we saw with Ryan Smith. Okay, that's typically, wheels rubbing and a car hopping and flipping. That wasn't the case in this one, but that race that was going on when Ryan did flip was, I mean, did this not have the crowd on their feet? You could hear the crowd in the back, Gary, right?
Oh, yeah. It was loud.
It was nuts, because these guys are swapping position lap after lap. It was a 3-4 car battle, and it came down to really 3 cars. And when it was going down was Fast Freddie Hay in the 10, Brock Peters in the 2, and Camden Robustelli in the 25. Okay, those guys, and I thought at the time, Camden Robustelli had this deal wrapped up. He came in off of victory at the last show, came in and won his heat race, was leading the feature. Everything was going good. It looked like he was going to be the guy to beat. So he worked his way through the field. He passed some fast cars, held off some fast cars, getting late in the race, and a caution came out. And I'm going through the field, and as I go through the field, I go to talk about the leader, Camden Robustelli, and he's at a standstill on the backstretch in turn 3. Officials looking at his car. And I'm thinking, what just happened? We're under caution. What happened to the 25? I can't remember what happened. Gary, did you forgot? Because remember we got the report something happened to 25 of Robustelli. I can't remember exactly what happened, but it was something so minor. It wasn't a major engine. I mean, it was something. It was one of those 20-cent pieces that cost you $2,000. It's one of those deals where it was something simple and it took him out of the race. That gave the lead to Brock Peters, and Brock Peters certainly wasn't going to give it up. But him and Freddie Hay in that 10 car, what a race. I mean, you guys watched it.
Yep.
Everybody was excited. It was one of the best races of the night. Dwarf cars are nothing short of impressive at that speedway. They were awesome. And to have, how many showed up? We had
those
21.
dwarf cars are actually fast becoming my favorite. Seriously, they are fun cars to watch.
Entertainment value for the fans.
Oh my goodness, they love them.
They do. They're a big hit down there. And that I think that track is like the perfect size track for dwarf cars.
Yeah.
I do too. I think there's some other tracks that's too big for them.
Right.
Because I mean they're maxed out on the straightaways.
They race for 3 laps. Everybody goes single file, and you get to watch a snake run around.
And the banking down there helps out a lot.
Oh my gosh,
I mean,
four
they're
wide.
hung out. They're hung out in the corner.
They are, and they're on the top,
God.
backing it in like a sprint car,
Their
four wide, and
drivers are awesome.
nobody
did you,
lifts.
Did you see the one? And I don't know if it was a number 10 that was